The best month of the year is here. Welcome to March. It's my birth month, whoop, whoop, but it's also Women's Month. And on that channel, I'm going to bring some amazing ladies for you to get to know them better. They're doing amazing things in the community, in the economy, and I can't wait for you to meet them. We are getting to know the women behind the success. So keep watching. This episode has been shot from Serene Beauty. Serene Beauty is a team of creative hair and makeup stylists ready to make your wedding day beautiful. Apart from ensuring that they enhance your beauty, they have bridal space in 5 apartments to accommodate their bridal teams so that the day is stress-free. Stay here with your bridesmaids, take pictures, have breakfast, and start the day right. You can check out their Instagram page and book your appointment today, or use the number on the screen and get ready to celebrate love just right with Serene Beauty. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We are still in the month of March and we are celebrating women, and I have a lovely lady with me today. She's called Damalie. Damalie, welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Even me, I can't wait. You know, the first time I met you, I was like, this chick, what's up? First time, you're consistent, okay? She looks good, she's always put together. Next time, same. 1 month, 2 months, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to get to know you, but before we do that, let's do some this and that questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so bold colors or neutral tones?
Bold colors.
You like it
I
bold?
like bold colors. The only reason I wear neutral tones or dark shades is because of my profession. So if I'm going to court, I have to do black like you, or navy blue or gray.
Yeah.
But left to myself, it will be a bold color.
Oh.
So it could be a yellow, it could be a blue, it could be a red.
I love it. Okay. Vintage or modern style?
No, modern style. I'm not for vintage. I don't know. I think that I want to see things in a more contemporary style, and yeah, a vintage doesn't appeal to me. I like it in other people's spaces, but I don't like it myself.
Guys, Damalie is always looking, and so I always love it. Okay, so tell us who you are, what you do. Are you married? Like, give us that brief.
Okay, so first of all, that question is a difficult one because how do you compress who you are in a very short time?
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I'll keep it to my roles. And from the time I wake up. So first, I'm a Christian woman.
Yeah.
And I'm married to John Tende. We've been married since 2012. We have 3 daughters. So I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I run a law firm called Terra Advocates, where I'm the managing partner. I'm also a lover of business. I'm a lover of women. I love fashion. Yeah, so that's it that's it about me.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, so like I've mentioned to you, in the month of March, we just want to celebrate women who are doing amazing things, who are, I want to call it, knowing the woman behind the success. Yeah, so we want to get to, I know people when they say that, they be like, they want to come down, they don't want to be humble. Please, you're successful, accept it, embrace it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we just want to get to know about you, getting deeper. What's your story like? You know, how did the journey start?
Where do I start? And I'll try and keep it short.
Yeah.
But I was orphaned at a very young age, so I have no memory whatsoever of who my parents were. I never interacted with my mother, never interacted with my father, but I was blessed to have a great maternal side and family. So I was raised by that side of my family, my mom now and dad, who is my mom's sister, and then my grandparents and my uncles. And so that's how I was raised. And growing up, I aspire to be a lawyer.
Really?
So I'm technically living my dream.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to be a lawyer. I had several dreams to look after orphans. That is still work in progress. And so because of that, I felt growing up that I was on a bridge and that my parents, my guardians, were the pillars on that bridge. And to stay on that bridge, I had to be at my best behavior.
Yeah.
Get the best grades, be a good girl. And so that shaped me. So I don't have a lot of negative stories in the past. I was pretty much an easy child to raise. And so because of that, I think managed to excel in school. And went to law school, which was
Tough.
It was tough, but I was so happy to be there because I wanted to be a lawyer anyway.
Yeah.
And so while at law school, we would study about these cases because lawyers, decisions from court guide a lot of what we say and what we base our arguments on. They're called precedents. And so as I went through law school, we would read these cases, and majority of them were argued by men.
Yes.
And when we would have law events, conferences, or opportunities where they would bring lawyers, it was still men.
Yeah.
And so I kept saying, where are the women? Yeah. And the few women who are there were in either DPP's office or in government as company secretary. They were in government as in-house counsel or doing other roles.
Yeah.
And so I just kept wondering, where is the woman in private practice? Of course, there are a few examples like Vama, who is now a judge. She's an honorable justice. But so I felt the need to step into that space.
Wow.
And so right from law school, I started doing internship before it was even compulsory. I would go to these law firms. I would go to law firms and do internship. And again, remember that bridge? I had to be at my best behavior, even at those law firms, because I was like, I can't afford not to get a job after school. And so I used to be at my best even in those law firms. So when I finished LDC, the firm that I did clerkship at confirmed me and gave me a place to work even before I went back to finish my last semester at law school. And so I joined that firm, practiced there from 2011 until I started Tara Advocates in 2019. Yeah, so
Wow,
and here we are.
Yeah.
We are running a law firm.
Yeah.
We're about 7 lawyers now and 4 support staff. We've won a couple of awards, a couple of cases. And I'm enjoying the journey of me being, the lawyer that I thought I would be. The journey of being a mother, the journey of being a wife, and doing them all with a lot of joy.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Many people in your situation or the way you've grown up or with that history would either have self-pity but I love it has actually made you who you are. Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
In fact, it's interesting you mentioned that because one of the things they used to tell me, my guardian, it's never feel sorry for yourself. And so for me, it's a mantra I actually carry. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Do it. Do what you're supposed to do and let your success speak for it.
Amazing. Yeah. So at what point did you get married along that journey?
At what point did I get married? So I started dating my current husband when I was in second year of law school. And so we dated for 6 years.
Was he a lawyer?
No, I would not date a lawyer.
Why?
No. My friends will kill me if I explain that, but no.
Okay.
But I wouldn't marry a lawyer. And so we dated from second year. Did our introduction in 2012 and then did our wedding in 2013. So yeah, that's it. That's when we met.
Okay. That's really nice. Okay, so you wanted to be a lawyer, you started your own practice, how is it going? How is managing it and juggling? You've said you have children. How is that going?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day and week. So all those roles they can be challenging, they can be tough. But what I keep telling myself is every single role I'm playing, I chose.
How?
And because I did, I cannot want the fruit and not the hard work that comes from it. And so even when there are challenges, I don't look at them that way. I'm like, it's part of the process. So how do I manage? I have a good team at work. I have one of the best teams. Yeah. Wow. The lawyers, the support staff, everyone is sold into the vision of Tara, and so that really helps. Partner at work as well, and so that helps. And then I feel so blessed to have my husband, because I can only imagine what single parents go through. Yeah. Because my husband is very hands-on. Like, all our children have had C-sections with all my children, and he's the one in hospital, of course, with the other family. And even when we go back home, he's the one nursing me. He's the one carrying the baby. He's helping out. Like, I don't have to worry. If my husband is home, I don't have to be worried. And so just having that support system makes all the difference. Of course, plus the house help and all these friends and family around us. Yeah, so they make the difference.
Amazing. You know, last time we had a conversation and you mentioned something. I don't know if I can share it. You guys sleep at what time? How do you organize, you know, that household to be like that? First, tell us more about that.
Interesting. So yeah, it still shocks people that we sleep at 8. So if you come to our house at 8 or 8:30, the lights will be out and everyone will be in their bed. How do we do that?
How and why?
Okay. Why do we do that? We all have hectic schedules. And the only time we get to zone out is dinner time. It's compulsory for all of us to be at the table. So we have dinner together at 7. That's if the traffic doesn't get me. But for as long as we're there, we'll have dinner at 7 and then go to bed. Now, of course, when we go to bed, for me, that's like therapy, because we get to catch
unwind.
up. Unwind. I'm like, can you imagine? I met Lisa today. This is what we talked about. And so I do a lot of that.
I know. I feel you.
And so I'll go on and on and on. So of course, we turn off the lights at 8, but we carry on with, you know, keeping up with each other, what's happening in your life, and then you doze off. And I have found that that is my best moment actually of the day, just unwinding with the children at the dinner table and sending them off to bed, and then, you know, catching up with my husband. And you don't have all these distractions, no phones, no TV, no nothing. And then because we stay far, we also have to wake up early to beat the traffic, so it makes sense that we have to sleep early. And then we wake up really early as well. The house is open by 4:30, so most of us are up by 4:30.
Wow. But then, you know, like with many men, how I'm just trying to how he is in the house by that time, like, you know, and it's a struggle for many. How did you have that conversation and say, you know, this is what we are setting? How did you come to that agreement generally?
No, imagine I think it's my husband that introduced that system more than I did.
Wow.
He's such a home person. I think I'm happy that he loves home. He's such a home person, and he doesn't do football. He likes his space, and so from work he usually will find himself at home. And so it makes it easy. I think it's easier when the man is the one, you know, advocating for this thing. So it's never and we never even sat down to say, beginning this day, we're going to know it. Somehow it naturally occurred that,
So you said the system, the kids know by this time, this is what's happening. No fighting, no crying, just go and sleep.
Of course, on Fridays, they will try and negotiate. Can we watch one extra episode? So Fridays, there's that allowance.
That's amazing. Okay, Damalie, you know, I know that you have a partner in your business, you know, but so many people struggle with partnerships and things don't go well. How did you get to that point and say, you know, I'm going to choose a partner, or is that something lawyers do?
So indeed, lawyers usually look for partners, but majority of the stories on the market are the bad stories. Because people come together to be able to meet expenses of the farm. So you find this space and say, you know, I can't afford to buy the chairs, pay the rent, let me get someone else and we share costs. For me, getting into this business, into this practice, I knew it was for the long term. I was not here to just make money. I'm here to leave a mark, to cause impact. And so it's not just about meeting someone who is going to contribute to the expenses. They needed to buy into the vision, they needed to understand the values that the firm stands for, and then we would be able to walk that journey together. Now, as the firm grew, even now, I still get offers of people who want to join and be partners. But whilst it's good to grow, I have understood that if you don't get the right partner, everything you're trying to build can just go down. Yeah. So how I allowed Alan to join, or how I invited Alan to join as a partner, is because we had worked together before. So I knew her work ethics. I knew that we were aligned in so many values that we were not going to be there arguing over bills. We were going to have conversations where we would understand each other, and that she would easily plug into the vision of the firm. So for me, that's what has made it easy. But also, even if we were friends, we said we need to document everything. So we have an agreement that spells out, how much do you bring in, how much do I bring in, and how do we share. And so we've never ever argued over money.
Really?
Because it's been that clear of, this is
do
it.
your work.
This is it. Yeah, and so we show up. So that's what has helped.
Wow, you're so lucky, because many people are struggling with partnerships and stuff like that. So how has Tara Advocates grown over the years? How have you been able to manage the people, to get those deals? You are an award-winning, because many women, one of the things we struggle with is once we get that success as well, then either the family struggles, you're no longer the wife, So how did Tara, make it and reach where it is now?
That's a good question, and thank you. So again, the support system comes in, because I know for sure that if I didn't have the buy-in of my family, of my husband, we would not be here talking about Tara. It's very difficult to run a business, especially as a woman, without the support of your husband. So my husband is like my number one cheerleader. Let's go. How far do you want to run? Let's go with it. Yeah. And so that support system, from the first conversation of, I'm thinking about this. Like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And so having that support system has helped, but also having a clear vision. Like I explained, for me, it's a long-term view. I want to leave a mark. And so I don't do things for now. I do things thinking about the future. The other reason for our growth has been the team and how we've gotten them on board. Because again, even for the team, it has been a thing of, it's not enough to have good grades. How have you come in? So you have to be recommended highly, and there has to be an assessment that you would fit in. Tara is like a small family, so we do life together, we have fun. If you found us, sometimes we won't tell who the boss is, but when we are working, we are serious, but we keep it fun, and so the team, I'm certain that we'll never have grown without the team and them buying into what we do. And of course, because of that, even with the little or much that we get, we try and make sure that our employees are happy, we are thinking about them, and that we are always trying to improve their circumstances. What else? Relationships, like relationships are the only way that our business grows. As you know, we're not allowed to advertise, and so Lisa has to trust me. And so once Lisa trusts me and I do a good service, then Lisa is going to refer me. So I'm very keen on building relationships. And I don't build relationships from, again, a point of business. For me, it's authentic. I will still like you whether you're paying me or not yet, whether we have a business transaction or not, and we keep building that relationship. Of course, learning. We have to skill ourselves, because it's not enough to be kind, good, all these things. The client wants results. So the willingness to burn the midnight candle, the willingness to do research, to innovate around key issues. So those are some of the reasons we actually have achieved what we have.
Did you ever feel intimidated, walking into that space? Like you mentioned that you are only seeing the men, the men. So when you came out, did you ever feel like, am I good enough? Will I make it? Will they listen to me? Will I be seen as serious? Did you go through that?
Imagine I didn't. I didn't. And so my worry was not about me. I knew for a fact that it was just a matter of time. Yeah. So it was just, will I afford to meet the expenses? That was the initial question of, and I remember going through this list of people I thought would give me instructions. I'm like, how am I going to survive, you know, after quitting you without a job? And so I did this list of people who would, who I thought would give me work. Guess what? None of those people came. But it's amazing what happens when you step out in faith. It's like God opened new doors, And so I stepped out in faith, and my confidence was really in my hard work and God showing up. And so I keep telling my friends that I did this covenant with God, that God, I'm going to show up. And then you're going to put my name on the people, on the minds of people, that when they think about legal services, they're going to think about me. So for me, all I have to do is show up and do my best, and then God does the rest.
And actually, that was leading to the next question: how has your faith, you know, supported you on that journey? How has your faith been that thing that supports you on that journey, or that has helped you move from one level to another?
It's been everything. Imagine, the courage to step out is faith. And it takes God for you to even have that courage to step out. And I don't think I had I thought I had a good relationship with God, but I have an even much better relationship with God because of how He's held the farm, how He's held my family, my children. And so, the faith has come in handy. And so for us, I think we might be one of the farms in this country that do morning fellowship every day. Like we meet at 8 for about 20 to 30 minutes and read the devotional and pray, and so I think it's working.
Wow, that's guys, I hope you're righty. You know, sometimes we feel like we want to start the day, there's lots to do, let's not waste time. But I think just giving God that time for your business, I think it's really, really nice. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so when you look back, what are some of the things that have defined those moments that have made you who you are? What are those things?
Another interesting question. I think being orphaned at a very young age, I think that there is a blessing in adversity because it shapes you. I could have turned out the same way, but I think that my journey is what it is partly because of that. And so I think that's one of them. The other one is getting married to my husband. I think God had me in mind and just gave me the right person. And because of that, we've been able to achieve so much together, and I've grown, I think, because of him. So, the other milestone is working at Moema and Company, where I started. Because I don't think I would be the lawyer I am if I didn't have the hand of the lawyers at that firm, Fred, Herbert, and all the other partners, because they gave me such a good foundation that now you can say I'm a good lawyer, but without that training and exposure, I don't think so. That was another experience that has defined me. Being a mother, so I remember I went to IMC opposite Watoto, and I did that pregnancy test for my firstborn. And so the doctor gives me the news, and I get that slip. I'm excited, of course. I get that slip, and I go to the washroom. And when I go there, I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be a mother. And then suddenly there was this rush of, oh my God, will I be a good mother? If I fail, what if my children don't think I am good
enough?
And that defined my next life, because having my 3 children, all of them have given me different experiences. So I had Tatiana, it was fairly easy, but a defining moment was with Ariana, my second-born, because at 6 months, she was diagnosed with a condition called a hemangioma.
Okay.
So I woke up one morning, she had a red something right below her ear. And I thought it was a mosquito bite. And then we kept going to different hospitals, but it kept swelling and swelling and swelling. And it can be trying when you have a sick child. And so somehow we went through the entire process of getting different opinions from different doctors. And thank God for the miracle that eventually we landed on the Cancer Institute. We took her there, and they were receptive to putting her on new medication altogether that helped. But for me, that was a defining moment in motherhood. And I'm thankful for that moment again, because it elevated my faith. Like going through that season was dark, but God somehow held her hand through it all. And looking back at that miracle of her healing, and I don't think she even knows she had it. I've not told her yet.
So it was cancer. What was it?
It was not cancer. It was called a hemangioma. So it's a collection of many blood cells in one place. So imagine mumps, but make it bigger, like 3 times bigger. So her eye was starting to close out, and her neck was starting to tilt. But now she's like the most beautiful girl. She doesn't even know at all. And so that was a defining moment in my motherhood journey. Starting Tara was a defining moment. And so I feel like every phase of my huge milestones has been a turning point.
And I want to ask, because many moms face this, you know, did you ever feel at some point that motherhood was holding you back? You know how you feel like you're moving, then you're pregnant, okay, then we fast. Then like everything you are going to do, then you fast on pause. You know, did you ever feel like it was holding you back, and how did you overcome that if you faced it?
Imagine I didn't.
You didn't?
I don't know. I think my problem, part of my problem is I'm such an optimist. Like I always look at the glass half full. And I go through challenges, and then it just hits me like, how did you survive that? And you're here, and like, that was tough. But in the moment, somehow, and so motherhood, for me, it's like I said, everything is a choice. Each one of my children was a choice. And so even with the trials of the C-section, the pain, the late night, being up in the night, every single one of those experiences, because again I chose this particular experience. I don't look at it as in the moment it hurts, and did it slow me down? No, because I chose. None of them was accidental, so it was planned. The difficult one was Giovanna, my last born, because the first 2 I had them when I was employed. But the last one, Giovanna, I had when I was running Tara. And so first of all, there was a big gap, because it's about 5. Ariana is 7, she's 2 years, and so first of all, that gap of I've not had a child in a long while, I'm much older, how am I going to do this? But most importantly is, will the farm survive
without you?
Without me, because I can't tell my employees, oh guys, I'm on maternity leave, you can see I'm pregnant, I can't do the work. I can't let my guard down because I'm pregnant. Like I could not see myself giving that as an excuse. And so somehow I carried it with grace. And what I did about it was to plan. Make sure there are systems in place, plan, and so that even if I was on maternity leave for 3 months, I said I'm not going to cheat my child and myself and be at work. I'm going to take leave like my employees would do. And somehow we managed to survive it, but thanks to having a good team, a partner at work, and then networks like BNI, where you still have referrals coming in, even when you're dealing with. So for me, I think it's the last experience which was very unique, where I had to, really think through the decision. But I chose it nonetheless, and I just said, if I'm going to have a baby next year, then we need to have certain things in place.
I love that, the planning, the structure. Hey, wow, love it. Because many businesses, especially when they're starting out, they need a lot of time. So if you're still starting out, you need to put in time, and then now you get pregnant, you have to give birth, you have to be away. Hey, you find that they've stolen all the things, you're like... So I really love that. Like it just worked out so beautifully. And you talk about your husband as well, being a good support system. One of the things I really love to share, with people are these stories, because many people will think husbands are not supportive, and then you bring some examples to show people that they are actually there, So how are you? Give us some tips on how you build in that marriage relationship to keep it,
Lisa, what you said is really true, because I think we've run out of examples of very good marriages.
Yeah.
That unfortunately there's a big group of women
Yeah.
that does not believe that good marriages exist.
Yes.
Yeah. And so sometimes you listen and you're like, I won't share because you've had all these people that have sold this lie to you. And for me, what has worked for me and how has it happened? It's that delayed gratification. So I told you we started dating when I was 22. Yeah. And honestly, I wrote an article recently based on Valentine's Day. I said, looking back, all these 17 years, yeah, imagine at the time my boyfriend then was broke, would be perceived broke. Yeah. That so many guys who seem to have it all.
Money.
Yeah, they had money, they were, but it's that I was willing to delay the gratification, because I mean, if you are encumbered, you have a wife, you have all this, like, no, it's that we understood each other so well from a young age, and we knew we were in it for the long term.
Yeah.
So much that I keep joking that, those these engagement parties of these days, we never even thought about it. It's like we had dated for 6 years and it was clear. I said, I don't want to get married until I have a job. And so I remember, I don't remember my husband really proposing. It was like, so I was thinking maybe we go visit your parents, and this time, like, actually, I think that will work. Yeah, it doesn't sound romantic, but it's that there was a lot of clarity that we were headed in this direction, and that this is what we're going to do, and it's that we've been patient with each other. We have supported each other. We have grown together. We understand each other. We are each other's best friend. Aww. And so I think that's
amazing.
What has helped.
Oh, we thank God for him. We thank God for him. I really love when I hear happy marriages, good marriages, healthy marriages. Actually, I'm just like, let's share with the world. Let's not gatekeep, because people out there will never know that good marriages exist. Because if we, some people keep quiet, like, I may jinx it. Please share when you have a good thing working. Share it so that others can learn. Okay, so on your journey, what are those things you'd love to share with us, the key lessons, especially for a woman out there who may be fearful of starting her own thing, who may be, just trying to juggle it all? How can she do it?
How can you do it? I think so many things, and a bit of them have been shared already. But one, for me, the most important thing is elevating your faith. Like, your relationship with God is the most important relationship you can have. And that relationship anchors you to have anything you want. A good marriage, good children. For me, that's the number one thing. Because without that, you are empty, you're broken, and it's difficult to go through life without God. So seek God first. That's the first one. The second one is think long term. Think long term. There are so many things which might look rosy now, but when you think about it 10 years, 15 years later, will it actually make sense? And so even when you're getting into business, think about it. Are you going to do this thing in the next 10 to 15 years? If you're not, if you're looking for a gig, unless you're saying, I'm going to do this and eventually transition into this, it's going to be difficult for you to do what? To hang in there, because when the challenges come, if you don't have a good reason for being there, it's going to be difficult. So purpose, define your purpose. And relationships. I can tell you for certain that without relationships, and it doesn't matter, because the challenge with us, I think, these days is being very optimistic, even when building relationships. Like, if you don't know that Lisa has something to offer you, it's as if she's not important. But for me, it's the more people you know, regardless of their positions, the better for you, because you just never know when you need to make that call, how they will impact you in the long term. So relationships, and being authentic with those relationships. Like, don't just look out for what she has to offer, but how can you deeply connect with someone? So relationships. So faith, purpose, relationships, reading and learning.
I tell you, lawyers, you overread.
Yeah. I don't think you can be a good lawyer without reading. But most importantly is that you have to transform your mind by renewing it. And the only way you renew your mind is by reading. Yeah, I know people who say I don't like to read. I'm like, do you know what you're missing out on? So reading is so important. Like sometimes I'm like, which book? I'm so hungry for knowledge that I'm like, which book? And I can tell how that impacts you. The interesting thing about reading is you don't realize when you're getting the value. But it compounds like anything else. It compounds. So just get invested in learning. And now we have so many options. We have vlogs, podcasts, So invest in learning. And then invest in loving yourself. Self-love is extremely important. Like no one is going to love you better than you are. In business, in relationships, in whatever you're doing, if you don't love yourself enough, if you don't care about yourself enough, you are pouring from an empty cup. So for me, it's I'm keen and big on that.
I love it. I would be doing myself and everyone a disservice if I didn't ask you to share with us some beauty and fashion tips, as moms, because we are struggling here out there, and we're going through all these changes, and sometimes we're not feeling good enough about our bodies. How do we just look the part and just a few tips that you
well, I'm not sure I'm the expert on it, but I will share from my experience. One is to, like for mothers, understand the season. Understand the season, because if you've just had a C-section, there's only so much you can do. But even when you're in that season, don't be reckless, because Damalie said, understand the season. You can just have flasks of porridge, and it's that understand the season, and so you extend more grace to yourself. If you've just had a baby, it's okay to have some weight, as long as you're not planning to stay that way. And then take action. The people will be like, Damalie, how have you managed to do this? And they're asking you for shortcuts. They think there's a pill you took or what. And it's that we, again, delaying gratification. We want it now. We are not willing to put in the work. And yet, we all know the things that work. Hydrate. Take as much water as you can. Eat right. Sleep enough. Remove toxic people from your life if you can. And then work out. And it doesn't have to be the gym. It's, can you walk? What do you have within your space? So for me, what has worked is I've tried to domesticate my lifestyle. So I have, I mean, it's not a gym, but I have dumbbells, I have a yoga mat, I have a treadmill. What else? And those things are enough for me. When I can't go to the gym, I still can't give an excuse of, I don't have. And then we have screens these days. You can work out. So for me, it's, what do you want? And do you really, really want it? Do you want it? Because when you really want something, you put in the work. It's not like we don't know what works. It's that we're just not willing to put in the work.
We don't even try. We are lazy.
So put in the work. And then the results will show. Fashion. Define your style. Just define what works for you, because I like color, and also I have to know my profession. Like I can't wear this dress to court, for example. Like, are you out of your mind? But define your style and determine where you're going and what you're going to do. I think in terms of fashion, that's what works for me. Let it be comfortable. And
oh, thank you so much, Damalie. You've been such a breath of fresh air. Just hearing your story, like for me, I've been moved. You're orphaned. You don't have parents. You've got new parents, and then you've embraced them. Your attitude is like, let me do the right thing. Let them not find me doing the wrong thing. You're determined. You're focused, and then your child is not well. But you're still positive. Like, wow, that's been so refreshing. Thank you so much for being here. I really love it. I hope you guys have learned something from her story. Let us know in the comment section what has been your key take home from Damalie's story. Thank you. Subscribe, engage with us, and I would really, really love to see you in the next video. My name is Lisa Kusima. As always, I'm here to inspire.